Welcome to another cast by Romeo. Dullahan versus Taucer on Crossing in the Woods, US versus Overcommando West. Should be good. Dullahan, this game is going to be using a strategy I have not yet seen, which is focusing very heavily on rear echelon troops rather than riflemen. So we are going to see multiple rear echelon troops start from him. And it looks like we're going with Volksgrenadiers from Taucer. And you can see that Dullahan already has 2 more squads of rear echelon troops queued up. Rear echelon troops really have absolutely no combat ability whatsoever. Even volley fire, it's not terrible anymore, but it's not really all that great either. So it'll be interesting to see how he can take advantage of their lower cost to get better map control early on in the game. But I think he's definitely going to struggle to win any engagements. And we see some tank traps going up already, presumably to give him cover. I don't think he's actually planning to block any movement with those. And he's quickly spreading out all over the map, hoping to grab as much territory as he can, as quickly as he can, before encountering enemy units. Taucer goes with a second squad of Volksgrenadiers. More tank traps going up randomly. And again, I assume that that is for the green cover that those tank traps provide, although it is directional and it's hard to sort of get your units placed around it optimally. It's better than no cover, certainly better than red cover, but not as good as sandbags, for example, which rear echelon troops cannot build. The only way to get sandbags as the US is if you go infantry company, and then your riflemen can, once you have 2 command points, build field defenses. Looks like we have a first engagement coming out here. He's got 2 rear echelon squads in red cover versus these Volksgrenadiers in yellow cover at medium range. Volley fire going out. Doesn't look like it's working yet. 6 seconds remaining. And it does not work at all. So that's a pretty good example of volley fire just utterly failing to do anything. And I guess that's by design, but I feel like that's kind of a waste of 20 munitions. I feel like volley fire could be a little better. It should work a little better here. He's at point blank range. These storm pioneers are in no cover. Nope, doesn't work there either. So 40 munitions down the drain. Volley fire is totally useless in this engagement. Wow. I was kind of expecting it to work there, but they closed the distance a little, closed the gap a little too fast. So those rear echelon troops got chased off. Looks like we see munitions cache going up right here, probably so that he can volley fire a little more frequently, would be my assumption. He's gone with 4 squads and then directly into an ambulance, so that's interesting. He's probably going to go for a quick lieutenant, would be my guess, to get some more firepower on the field, since he's now lost control of both of the major fuel points. Really struggling in these opening engagements. Moving up into the sandbags. He really stands no chance against these Volksgrenadiers, though. He's barely even hurting them. Forced immediately to retreat. Meanwhile, these guys are doing virtually nothing from their position in the house. He is spreading out, though, and harassing the enemy's territory points to the best of his ability, but these storm pioneers are already moving up to respond. Looks like he spotted that, and he's falling back. This is a bit of a stalemate between these echelon troops and these Volksgrenadiers. Volley fire going out at almost max range, I would say. On those Stern Pioneers, they back off. Not sure if that's going to work. Doesn't look like that's going to have any effect. I have yet... Oh, there it goes, finally. Should be able to win this engagement, I think, if we can get good enough damage on those Stern Pioneers before they unsuppress, although it looks like backup is coming in from the north. And they got pinned. That's actually surprising. I was not expecting that. You should be able to keep them pinned down if he just continues to fire on them. Though these Stern Pioneers are probably going to do... Yep. They would have definitely killed all of them if he had not retreated. That was a good move retreating there. And we do see a quick lieutenant on the field. And a fuel cache going up as well. So far, I'm not sure this strategy is working out entirely well. He has lost control of both of the major fuel points and both of the major munitions points, down to nothing but the strategic points directly outside of his base.
Armory has unlocked the Browning automatic rifle.
I would have expected slightly more harassment of this fuel point, which is largely undefended except for this Volksgrenadier squad. Lieutenant moving up to chase them off. He's definitely going to be able to retake the left side if nothing moves to prevent that. Meanwhile, this squad of Rear Echelon troops is going to be able to retake the right if he pulls any forces away from here. Quick flak half-track on the field. Should be interesting to see how Dullahan responds to that, given that he has absolutely no anti-tank or anti-light vehicle whatsoever. It goes directly for his lieutenant, which is definitely going to be forced off the field immediately. Oh, and meanwhile, a full squad of Rear Echelon troops goes down. It looks like he's gone with a bar upgrade for his Rear Echelon troops to give them some actual firepower. Let's see how many bars is on this squad. It looks like just one for now. He is a little behind on map control, so I don't think he has the munitions to get more than one. That should give that Rear Echelon squad a little bit of power against a Volksgrenadier squad. Given better proper positioning, he could probably beat a Volksgrenadier squad, especially if it was already wounded. Certainly can't beat a flak half-track, though. And they get chased off. Looks like we're going to see a quick utility car as well. I think he might have been hoping for an anti-air half-track, but given his map situation, he probably didn't want to wait the extra minute or two that it was going to take to stockpile enough fuel for that. He does have 16 fuel coming in, though, which is better than you might expect. He's got this fuel cache, so that's definitely offsetting his map situation a little. And I think what this strategy really serves to do is almost accelerate the game into the mid-game quite quickly. His enemy has all of the points, but he has these resource caches, so it kind of balances out in that regard. Oh, I don't think Taucer was watching this engagement, and he lost a full Sturm Pioneer squad. He may lose 2 full squads if that utility car is able to chase them down. That could be a devastating blow. This flak half-track is moving up to try and put some damage on that utility car, though. Very good series of bursts there, and utility car couldn't quite path through this terrain, and it is going to be unable to chase down that Sturm Pioneer squad, so that is a shame there. That could have really given Dullahan a solid advantage. Even so, eliminating that one full squad will definitely help him retake some of the map here. He parks his utility car behind this house and puts the bazooka squad inside. Interesting. Houses are actually excellent cover against flak half-tracks. I find that they have a lot of difficulty penetrating and putting any damage on anything inside of a house. Oh, he parks the flak half-track with its rear armor facing straight towards... Ooh, excellent series of bursts on that lieutenant. He needs to get that out of there. Oh, but the flak half-track is already packed up and moving away. Lucky for that lieutenant that he did that. I think if he had opted to stay just a little longer, he probably certainly could have killed that lieutenant before he could retreat. Of course, one more bazooka blast could have damaged or even destroyed its engine if it hit in the rear, and that would have been the end of that flak half-track. Volksgrenadiers with a Panzerschreck now, moving up on the right side. Meanwhile, these Rear Echelon troops are spreading out, retaking the right side, while these are spreading to the left, which is largely undefended right now. So good harassment by Dullahan there. Smoke going up on the utility car for some reason. I'm not sure what that was about. And it looks like we do see airborne doctrine, paratroopers coming in. And that will be a much more powerful infantry unit than his Rear Echelon troops, for sure. Oh, one good flak burst there, manages to suppress those airborne. But it looks like he's gotten safely out of range. No armored skirts on the utility car either. Once again, I would say that's most likely due to his map situation. Cooked grenade on the Sturm Pioneer is a little disappointing. Definitely could have done more damage with that. He gets one of them though. Folks Grenadiers moving up, trying to take out the utility car. Needs to keep moving. Pop smoke. Good use of smoke there. Those Folks Grenadiers take quite a bit of damage running out in the open road. And finally, it looks like Dullahan has managed to make it back to the left side fuel, cutting that off entirely. Taucer does have 20 fuel coming in right now, as he has the fuel transferability enabled. And he does have one major munitions point, so that is bringing in quite a bit of fuel for him. Although now he's down to 15 with the larger fuel point cut off. Looks like he's brought in a Puma to deal with the enemy's utility car, and little does he know there's also an anti-air half-track, so it looks like Dullahan is investing quite heavily into the lieutenant's platoon command vehicles. Oh, and that flat half-track needs to get out of there. It's going to start getting shredded by the enemy AA half-track. No! Oh, he popped smoke! Looks like that was a really excellent use of smoke. He needs to get that out of there. Enemy utility car is charging. Oh, and he gets out, hoping to fire a quick bazooka shot, but their pathing is terrible. Just dancing all over the place. Excellent escape by that flak half-track, and the Puma's coming in. Oh no, but they're taking shots from the bazooka, and the enemy AA half-track pops his own smoke. Lots of smoke use going out from both sides. Miss on the AA half-track. That's a shame. And both of his light vehicles are now heavily damaged. Oh, those paratroopers get a little too close to that parked flak half-track, it looks like. Huge mess of infantry amidst these light vehicles. Lots of damage on that utility car. Could go down. I think the Puma's coming up to try and sneak a shot in on it. He's going to lose those Folks Grenadiers, though. Oh, he was not paying attention to that. Yikes. He better recover that Panzerschreck. Looks like we might have more paratroopers dropping into this fight. Interesting. A vehicle crew's taking a position in the sniper nest. Although it fires its bazooka apparently automatically at infantry rather than at any nearby vehicles. Or this thing. It might not quite have visibility on the Puma, so that's a shame. Excellent positioning by Taucer of his light vehicles, doing a really good job keeping his light vehicles alive, putting as much damage on the enemy infantry as he can, while still remaining safe. So other than losing that full Volks Grenadier squad, this engagement has gone relatively well. But he did not quite manage to eliminate any enemy vehicles, either. Oh no, and his flak half-track... I think that flash half-track was automatically chasing. I'm not sure what killed that. It must have been a mine or something. Not sure what happened there. So now I would say that Dullahan is definitely coming out on top of this engagement. His light vehicles both still kicking. The enemy having lost his flak half-track and his Puma in severely damaged condition.
We now stand at 300 points.
The Puma is an excellent counter to the enemy. The US AA half-track, however, you really do need to be careful about positioning it. You don't want to get caught behind it without retaliating with some good damage of your own. And Dullahan's done an excellent job of using his utility car's bazooka crew to supplement the damage of his AA half-track. Just that extra bit that's needed to keep the Puma from totally annihilating everything he's got. Looks like we see a captain on the field. So Dullahan's going with very low-tier, mid-game sort of strategy here, focusing on infantry and light vehicles, not rushing for tanks by any means, despite the fact that he now has excellent map and fuel control.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
Taucer's definitely going to want to recover at least one of the flanks on this map. He really needs to make sure to keep at least one fuel and victory point under his control, or he's really going to struggle to hold on. Enemy infantry coming down to harass his truck, but I think that might be a bit of an overextension on his part. Planning demolition charges on the truck. Getting torn up by these base guns, though. And that's not going to be sufficient to destroy the truck. You need basically 2.5 of those to completely obliterate a truck. Oh, and the Puma's coming up and catches the Stewart sort of off guard. Oh, it misses though. Oh, it should not have popped that smoke. It was definitely winning this engagement. Oh, he needs to hit that Stewart just one more time. No, you can definitely win this. Those vehicles are totally unsupported. Oh, that's a shame. Now this half-track is in pretty good position to deal damage. I think that smoke was a little premature. He should have waited till he had hit that Stewart one more time. He was very close to destroying that. Moves up with these Stern Pioneers. Instantly suppressed by that half-track, even on the move. Look at that. Great suppression there. It's a really powerful unit for sure. Puma's really not quite fully repaired. Moves it up though to get some good shots on that Stewart. One more maybe? Oh, and it misses. That's a shame. He should be careful though. He doesn't want to move into that half-track's arc of fire while he's still heavily damaged. Meanwhile, he's doing some harassment over here. He's got these units somewhat bunched. Half-track moving up to scare them off. It looks like the Puma is nowhere to be found. It's getting some repairs. Meanwhile, he still hasn't repaired this. He's going to want to get that damage repaired, otherwise another one of those demo charges and a few bazooka shots or shots from the half-track will be all Dullahan needs to take that truck out entirely. Puma's fully repaired, moving back in, but he's going to, I think, run straight into this captain. Oh, circles around to put some damage back on that Stewart. He's doing a great job of keeping that Stewart at bay, that's for sure, but I think more importantly he should be taking out that half-track. Oh, right through the trees, he does manage to annihilate the Stewart entirely. He's going to circle around, go for the half-track. I think his line of sight will be obscured slightly. Ooh! Great shot through the trees. He's really using that Puma effectively at its maximum effective range. Getting some really good shots off. 2 more shots on that half-track and it'll be done for sure. Oh, meanwhile, it looks like there was an engagement over here. Took out a full squad of Volksgrenadiers as well. I don't think either of them was watching. These 3 squads are not being microed at all. He just happened to have superior numbers in the right place at the right time. Oh, main gun destroyed. Pops smoke, though. Oh, no, that Stewart's showing up at the perfect moment. He needs to get that Puma out of there. That is a triple vet Puma down thanks to excellent Stewart there. And then the Stewart for some reason pops Shell Shock, which is a little strange because that increases its chance of dealing vehicle criticals, and there are no vehicles over here. Not sure what he was thinking there. Maybe he was expecting another enemy vehicle to come through. Meanwhile, it looks like he is making a push for the enemy truck again, and Taucer decides that that is that, and that is the end of the game. So, interesting strategy, for sure, by Dullahan. I personally would not say it was all that effective. I don't know if this replay really is an argument for rear echelon troops right off the bat. I would say that Taucer utterly dominated Dullahan in the very beginning stages of the map. He had both major fuel points and both major munitions points. Not sure what the victory point status was, but most importantly, the resources were completely under his control up until the point that Dullahan got a lieutenant and his utility car, and especially his half-track, which really helped him retake control over the map and really helped eliminate some full squads and keep him pinned. So if anything, I would say that this is an argument for the use of the lieutenant tier and the light vehicles rather than an argument for the use of rear echelon troops. I was really hoping to see more rear echelon troops rather than just 4. I was definitely expecting to see at least 5 or 6, and I was really hoping to see some fighting positions used and more use of the rear echelon troops' abilities, such as razor wire and tank traps. He certainly did place lots of tank traps for cover. He didn't really block off any routes, though. So I think there's definitely still room to explore this strategy. I think it could be viable, but I think it requires lots of micro. You have to pay a lot of attention to your rear echelon squads, and I think that it could have been executed a little better here. But nonetheless, he did manage to pull out a victory, whether due to his rear echelon squad start or not. So, very interesting to see, and I think that just about wraps up this game, so thanks for watching.